Passion is critical for rapid development, for success of individuals, organizations, societies, and governments. Actually, the fundamental difference between ordinary individuals and organizations, societies and governments on the one hand, and the successful ones on the other, is the difference in passion. Passion is simply defined as acts, enthusiasm, or commitment, or dedication to a given cause. The most critical element which sustained Biafra for a whole 30 months was the passion of the people, not just the leaders. I would like to read out a paragraph from a book written by Brigadier General Godwin Alabi Isama, a top commander in the 3rd Division of the Nigerian Army, which fought in Port Harcourt against the Biafrans in 1967 to 1970. The passage reads, "The 2 Biafran ships were finally sunk after 24 hours of grueling fire battle. As if that were not enough, a Biafran naval officer jumped out of the last shrinking boat, took a speedboat with a machine gun, and started to fire at Akinriade's fishing trawler. All troops on board returned fire, but this officer was elusive. It was then that Akinriade laid down a speedboat from the fishing trawler and chased this Biafran officer. Even when he ran out of ammunition, he was still speeding and dodging Akinriade's fire until both of them ran out of ammunition. Then the chase, which lasted from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., a full 5 hours, finally ended with Akinriade finally capturing this officer called Azuatalam. We finally changed his uniform and recruited this brave young man who gave Akinriade such a tough time on the waters into the 3rd Marine Commando Division. He was later sent to Malt's Officer Cadet School in Aldershot, UK, for further training. He returned to Nigeria as an officer of the Nigerian Army. This is not an isolated incident. We saw in Biafra how airports emerged overnight. And the airport at Uli, today's Ihera local government area, became one of the busiest airports in Africa. People were doing crazy things in Biafra because they believed passionately in the new nation. People like Chinua Achebe, Professor K.O. Dike, Emmanuel Obiechina, Cyprian Ekwensi, Gordian Ezekwe, Ben Abomselo, Ben Wosu, and many others, like Felix Orago, could have gone abroad to teach in any of the top institutions. But they were in Biafra, under the barrage of gunfire, often with their food, working for the benefit of their people, moving from town to town, from village to village. That's a good example of passion in Biafra. And there are so many examples we can give. The heroic effort of people like Corporal Nwafo. You can have a better example of passion than that. So we can go on and on. The point that I'm making is that for Igboland to be able to compete very well in today's globalized world, the people must work with passion. It cannot be business as usual. It can no longer be a question of going to work at 9 a.m. and going home at 4 p.m. No, that's not the way to do effectively in today's globalized world.
Why is passion necessary for the development of Igboland?
It is necessary because Igboland is no longer what it used to be. Many of the industries we had in the 60s, for example, are no longer there. Even Niger Senate in Calago is not operational. Many of the industries, the Great of Africa, and Dr. Michael Bakare builds, and even those built after the war by Biafra, are no longer functional. So the consequence is that many of our youths, when they graduate from higher institutions in Igboland, are compelled to leave Igboland in search of jobs in Port Harcourt, in Abuja, in Lagos, and sometimes abroad. It's not a good thing when some of your bests are out of your homeland. There are a lot of sociological consequences when you have a situation like this, but we don't have to go into those consequences right now. I must say that there are also instances of late where Igbo people have demonstrated good passion, the kind of passion we require for development. Let me give 3 instances. Professor Bat in Nigeria could have established the geometric power plants in Lagos, in Ilupeju, or even in Ogun State. You could have made far more money. But as you can see, profit is necessary, but profit is not everything. There is something called passion, devotion to a given cause. There is a strategic reason for citing that the plants in Aba. When Festus Odimewu became the MD of Nigerian breweries, he did something fantastic. He built the biggest plants Nigerian breweries has ever had in any states. The reason was strategic. That's the kind of foresight we expect in today's Igbo leaders. What Pascal Dozie has done with the Diamond Bank remains legendary. Many of the big Igbo businesses, especially in the petroleum sector, were financed by Diamond Bank. The major reason was not always profits. It has to do with passion. There is a strategic vision that was at the base of the action. That's the kind of passion we need to have in today's Igboland, to make Igboland become competitive once again.
What are the conditions which facilitate passion?
There are 2 major critical factors that drive passion. The first one has to do with the followers understanding the mission of their organizations or their governments. And where there is a vision which has to do with where an organization or a country, a territory, a government wants to be within a given period, they understand it and they buy into it. They share the values, they share the vision. So understanding is critical. Understanding on the parts of the followers or members of a given organization. The second point is trusts. trust is critical. Trust here means that the followers trust their leader to be working for them, to be committed to the common good. This is absolutely necessary. And one example I can give right now is today's China. President Xi has a vision by the year 2049 that China will become either a superpower or the only superpower in the world. By 2049, it will be exactly 100 years that modern China was born. So to make a statement, the people have a vision they are pursuing. And individuals and businesses, including private businesses, believe in this vision. And they are working so hard to achieve it. Take, for example, their telecommunications companies, where we is today the biggest telecommunications equipment manufacturing firm in the whole world. By 1997, the Chinese were doing everything possible to get companies like the Swedish firm Ericsson to teach them the basis of telecommunications engineering. Huawei was started recently by a former Chinese military officer. Today it's become the biggest in the whole world, overtaking Alcatel of France, Motorola of the US, Ericsson of Sweden, and so on and so forth. There is a vision that people are pursuing. Take a look at one of the major companies again, BYD, which manufactures not only trucks, but cars, electric cars. It hopes to become the biggest manufacturer of electric cars in the world in the next couple of years, and working towards it. BYD, by the way, means build your dream. So it's important to recognize all this. There is a vision the people of China are pursuing, and this vision was developed by their leadership, by their government. It's the kind of thing we want in Igboland. Profit is important, but profit is not everything. The Chinese are also driven by a very powerful sense of history. They believe, they recognize that their society was at the center of the world between the 7th century and the 10th century, during the time of Tang dynasty. They want to reclaim that world, this time in the image of China. They don't want China to play second fiddle. That's what they're working towards. It's the kind of spirit and passion the people we have in today's Southeastern Nigeria and elsewhere in the Igbo world should develop. We have to imbibe this passion and have a vision, work towards it.
Are there instances of demonstrations of passion in contemporary Igbo history?
Yes, I've already cited some examples. I'll give the example of P.G. Pascal Doze, Festus Odimegwu, and Professor Barton. I must say that the Anambra State government has also done something very remarkable about this. It is the only government in the Southeast I know that has a long-term vision, a vision of making Anambra State be as developed as Taiwan or Dubai by the year 2017. Now, this idea was developed last year, at least it was launched, the Anambra Vision 2017 last year. Last year marked the 50th anniversary of the end of the Nigerian Civil War. So a lot of commentators were arguing, they were speculating, saying if Biafra had lived, by now Biafra would have been competing with China or Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, South Korea, etc. But instead of lamenting over spirit milk, we should be able to project into 50 years from now. So for that reason, the Anambra State government set up a committee to work out a vision, a program of how Anambra State could attain the status of a developed society by the year 2017. And it's actually a very good thing. Actually, the committee is headed by somebody knowledgeable, dedicated, passionate enough to do the job. Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, and is driving the job of this committee, the Vision 2017 committee, with the required passion and knowledge.
But we all know that passion can sometimes be abused. What do you have to say about this?
It is true that passion can be abused, all human beings. I do know that in recent Igbo history, there have been a couple of instances of abuse of the passion of the Igbo people, especially as regards Biafra. A couple of years ago, someone from the Igbo-speaking part of Delta State who fought on the Biafra side during the war asked a lot of people who fought during Biafra to come forward with their passports and information, biodata, and with some money to be reintegrated into the Nigerian army or to be paid some money by the Nigerian government. We know this was a scam. We tried to explain to our people. Unfortunately, most of them did not listen. Because with Biafra comes tremendous passion in our people. Also, a couple of years ago, maybe 4 years ago, some people in Aba printed what they call Biafra passports, and we're selling them at between 5,000 naira and 10,000 naira to our people, claiming that anybody with a Biafran passport could travel to any part of the world without a visa. It was a scam. We recognized it. And we felt it was absolutely immoral and unfortunate to scam the poorest of our people of their hard-earned resources. We raised an alarm. Unfortunately, most people did not listen to us. This development reminds one of a passage in the Bible. 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 3. It says, time will come when people will not be interested in the truth. They will rather be interested in their passions, in what their ears itch to hear. This has been our experience with some people who do not really mean well for our people, but are exploiting their passions, their Biafran passions. This is the kind of thing we do not want in today's Igbo society.
Are there instances of long-term planning by the Igbo to catch up with the first world?
Well, the Igbo world hasn't developed that kind of vision. I've already cited the example of Anambra State, which is a core Igbo state, had developed its own vision. I expect the rest of the Igbo world to develop their own vision, something similar to this, or even to work as a common front, develop a vision of how Igboland should be within a given period. Say 50 years, it will take quite a long time. Malaysia had its own vision 2020. It's a 25-year development plan developed in 1991. It was a plan meant to turn Malaysia into a fully developed society by the year 2020, which actually is this year. They have practically achieved that vision. And there are so many other visions. I've already cited the example of China 2049, We have Saudi Arabia 2030. Saudi Arabia hopes by the year 2030, its economy will have developed so much so that oil will become an insignificant contributor to its gross domestic products. So the whole of Igboland should come together, buy into the vision, or learn from the Anambra example, develop a collective vision for the rapid development of Igbo society. Yeah, there is a lot we can learn from Southeast Asian nations, from China, from India, from Brazil, and so on and so forth. The way to go is rapid economic development of our society, and it is doable. To be able to do this, we require the passion our people developed or demonstrated during the war, and the passion we developed even before the war, our passion for education, the passion which enabled us to overcome the consequences of the Civil War within a very short period. You may call it the Zobu passion. Our people are noted for being energetic. We are known for our high industriousness. We require today's world a reenactment of the demonstration of these wonderful virtues we have as a people.